Hey everybody, how we doing today? My name is Michael.
And I'm Dione.
And welcome to FITZ'S Adventures. We are in Bishop, California, elevation 4,000 feet. And we got here yesterday afternoon, as you know. And we're gonna go out sightseeing today.
Yeah.
So I think there's a train museum that we want to see. In back of us is our dog. He was up there, he just opened the curtain up a little bit and looked out. He can't go with us today. We're gonna have to bring in the awning before we go out too, just in case the wind picks up, because it does that sometimes. So Bishop is, like I said, 4,000 feet. It is the upper desert. Mammoth Mountain is in back of us, or kind of to the side of us. And then we're about 300 miles from LA, so we're not too far away. It's going to be like a 5-hour trip when we leave here to go down to either 29 Palms or wherever we're going to stay while we sort out our crap in our storage. and then we're going to go right to work camp. So we're probably going to be there, I don't know, we'll see, the 10th, 11th, something like that maybe. So yeah, we were going to stay out until the 16th, but we might be able to. We still have money, and really down here, campgrounds are a lot cheaper than they are up there. Yes. We were paying $80 for a campground, and now we're paying $45, so we could stay pretty much for 2 days compared to what we paid for 1 day.
Yeah.
So that's a better thing. When we got here yesterday, we told the manager, she was on duty, she was checking us in.
Yeah.
And very nice lady, and we were telling her that we were work campers and we were on our way to a work camping job. So she said, well, we need to talk because we need work campers all the time. And I said, well, that's cool, we will.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we're going to go and talk to her. Dione went and paid for another night because we were supposed to pay for 3 nights here. We only paid for 2. And then Dione was talking to her and told her that we knew Campground Master, both of us, and you know, that's what we've been doing is inside work. And she said, well, hey, put your application in. Do you guys want to start work now? So if we really had to stay here, we could stay here because they seem to like us already, which is a good thing. Now they just need some warm bodies is what they need. Their season is April 1st through November, and then after November, we're at 4,000 feet. It snows up here.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it does snow, and we didn't want to be in, what's the name of that town up in Washington State?
Redway?
No, no, in Washington State.
Soap Lake?
No, the other one.
Leavenworth.
Leavenworth. I couldn't think of it either. We didn't want to go in Leavenworth because they said it was 96 inches of snow a year. Well, they got 96 inches of snow in just one friggin' snowfall, and then they had 2 or 3 of those. So we're not doing that. This camper would not make it, like we said before. But it seems like a nice area, so we'll see. We're gonna talk it over and everything. We'll talk to her, and maybe on the way back we'll stay up and come up here.
Yeah. And
then go back down in October like we're supposed to go down there. Maybe we won't have to drive so far.
Exactly.
But I won't have health care like I do. I know. So I like Oregon too, and we already got our driver's license in Oregon, so we want to get our tags in Oregon. And I think what we need to do is maybe come down here in the wintertime and go up there in the summertime, and then it's 300 miles less that we have to travel.
True.
So we'll figure this out. There's a million campgrounds between here and there. All right, guys, we're going to go out and we're going to check out the area.
Come with us.
Yep, come with us. All right, everybody, we are here at where?
Laws.
Laws what?
Historic Train Museum.
Yeah, and look, this is it. I think this is on the road to go to Tonopah, or actually that road over there going this way went to Tonopah and we came off. Bishop is out that way. Mount Whitney, you can see the little peak way over there. That's Mount Whitney. The one that looks smaller than that one, that's because it's further away. So they actually have a little town here, it looks like. And they got some train cars and stuff. So we're going to go check this place out. What do you think? We're going to go across and check out the town. Donations are welcome. There's not a fee to get in, we don't think. That's what it said online. So it's a pretty cool little town. Okay, register inside before entering grounds. Everyone must be wearing their shoes. Pets on leashes, absolutely no smoking. Enjoy your visit, come often. Got my mask on. I don't need to have it on outside, but every time we go inside one of the rooms, we're going to have it on. We pretty much got the run of the place today, he said. There's a family just left. but there's nobody else going to be here. They're going to have that poetry reading tomorrow on Saturday, so they're getting set up for that too today. We're going to walk around. Bob gave us a map. He works here, or I don't know if he owns the place, but his name is Bob, and he was telling us all about the place. So let's go in here. The first place we're going to see is the photography.
Well, you don't want to come in here.
Why?
Because you're going to want too many things.
Oh, cameras. Yeah. Now, if my daughter Emily is watching, I used to collect cameras, and I didn't have that many. I only had probably about 10 or 11. I know you can see me in this. Let's go a little closer. But yeah, those are some nice cameras. Polaroids down at the bottom, some Brownie box Kodak cameras up there. And then there's 8mm, there's a couple 16mm in there. Slide projectors up on top. That's always really neat. And then look at these. I actually had that one, and Emily now has it. It's an August. I think I'm saying that right. And that lens pops out, so it's a pocket camera. I have some of these. I have a small one that's called a Signature. I don't have it anymore. Emily does. It was a 1913 Signature camera. It was a small. It was maybe about half the size of that. Check it out, Emily. All these cameras in here. Man, there's some on the top shelf I can't see. Let's see if I can see them now. So cool. Hello, cameras. This is just one of the little rooms. Mammoth. Bishop Union High School. Mount Tom. So this thing you would tie up onto a horse or a couple horses, and it would plow your fields for you. You'd sit on it and you pull the levers down here, and that would plow, make rows. So see the two discs there? That would be for your rows. That's pretty cool. And this is the livery stable, maybe? Yep. All the tack that you would need. These are all the brands. They're all over. They've got a list all over the place here. Those are all the branding irons. Those are the ones right there. Special horseshoes for special problems. All the different types of horses. Small horses, large horses. Nice old saddles. That was used a lot. Oh my God, was that used a lot. It's a real deal. And a two-headed lamb linked together. How weird is that? If it's real.
It is. Look at the...
Ooh. Maybe all the nuclear testing they did out here. 1938.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually was a two-headed lamb, and back here, back in the day, and like east of here, they were doing in-ground and above-ground blasts for nuclear weapons, atomic bombs back in the day. So that's probably a lot of that was.
You picked a good day, nobody's here.
Yeah. Well, it's a weekday. All right, so this is the print shop. And when we were up in Virginia City on the last video, I showed you about type. So this is, I forget what it's called. It is a composing stick, and that's what we used. And you can see the typeface there is all one type, like it's already done. Most of the time it's all one little piece, and I don't know if they're going to show us that up here or not. These are basically carvings into metal, and these are lead casting ones. Okay, that's what they are. There you go. Yeah, when I was a kid, I took graphic arts, and we had all the old printing machines, and we had all those old cases that all the type was in I was telling you about. So that's pretty cool. But we had these type of machines. We had bigger ones than these. I don't see the bigger ones. Maybe back in the back. And this one's like already printed up. So it's already done, and I think that is Bakelite, because you can make an offset of it. And that's just weight, that's just lead to make weights. That's how they sold it. And look, this, somebody had to carve that out. That was for the newspaper when they made the newspaper. So that was always going to be there. And then the headlines they made up every time with different type. So every drawer has a different font, or every cabinet has a different font, and every drawer has a different size, from capitals to small to everything. I mean, it's pretty cool. Back in the day, could you imagine having to do this? To make this paper, it would take them probably 3 or 4 days, because all that thin, small little type right there that they've got right there, those are all micro. Look how small those are.
I know.
So they made Bakelite. I think what they did was they had to make Bakelite ones, because that's a pad. That's like a rubber pad, like a stamp, is what that is. Good old days, laws, 2015. So somebody actually got together and they actually made this from all the stuff, and they printed that out. That was pretty cool for here in your registry. Ah, there's the big ones. I've never seen that one, the inner typer, but it looks like you can type something down there and it will print it out. That's weird. Most of the ones we've used were big electric ones, but not like any of these. They don't have an AB Dick machine in there. They use those up until like probably the 80s. This is the Pioneer building. So it's just got about everything the pioneers would bring over to set up a new residence in whatever land they went to, whatever state. There's some old weapons. Tells you what the pistols are. Look at all those old ones up there. Wow. And then everything a woman needs back in the day. Some men probably. Making their dresses and their clothes for their kids and their husband. You really couldn't afford to go out and buy until Sears came along. Then Sears had catalogs and things were probably pretty cheap. Music. Here's our military. World War I. And back to some music over here. This is pretty neat. They've got a lot of stuff. Old record player. Probably 1940s. Maybe 50s. Oh look, our phone. Teletype. That was a teletype machine. Right there. Mm-hmm. And we used to get stuff on a teletype machine from, gosh, what was it, AP? About news at the TV station. And it was pretty much, we had one like that, but I think we had one like that too that you can type back. Pretty cool. old phones. We used to take the cranks off of those because it was a generator. It had to make electricity when you cranked it. And then after you cranked it, those boxes up there, you see it? It charged the capacitor, and you can go into the water. Really not good to do. Please don't do this. I did it when I was a kid with my friends, and it was really bad. But you put the leads in the water and spin it, and then fish come up. They stun the fish, and then you catch them. Not good to do. But when you're a boy of like 12 years old, something you learned about or somebody told you try it out and it works, hey, you're gonna do it again. 8-track, that's actually a 4-track. That's an 8-track. Breathing heavy in this mask. Temperature out today is like 86 degrees. We're not used to that, just to let you know. Mitch would love all this. This is ham radio gear. Old stuff. That's a ham radio. These are just receivers. These are not radios. These are both. That's cool. Mitch was my stepfather, and he was a ham radio operator since the age of, I think, like 12 years old, up until he died. He had a handle of W6GHX with his call signs, and yeah, old timer of ham radio. I don't think they do ham radio like they used to do. All right, where are we going now? Huh? Just the firehouse? So this is the firehouse. Ooh. I hate the glare on the windows. You never can see inside very well. This is cool. Water, gas, oil. What does that say? Radio dispatch. That must have been a cop or an ambulance. I think it was an ambulance. Ooh, look. Doesn't say what that was. I think it's an ambulance. It's pretty big. It's got the big back door in the back, like an old bread truck would have. What's this? This is a 1926 Chrysler? Beautiful. And that probably was in operation up until probably, how many years ago?
Early 90s.
Yeah. That pumper was an awesome tool for this area for years. Fire body made by P&E Van Pete Hilt, Oakland, California. 500-gallon tank. Wow. Really can't see because of all these lights, the skylights or the windows. But there's some of the fire hydrants, fire extinguishers. I don't see any of the glass ones. I used to have these glass balls. They look like light bulbs, and they were filled with a suppressant, and you would throw it on the fire. Dion's taking some pictures. Medical offices, pharmacy, optometrist, barber. Yes, barber shops were considered that. Physicians and dentistry. So at the same time you're getting your haircut, you can have your teeth looked at, I guess. Look at this old glass. Do you see it's not real smooth, you can see. That's the old glass. There's a couple panes of new glass in it. But these are old. Pretty cool. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Dentistry. And whatever else he can do for you. Now here's the dentistry. And podiatrist, some foot powder, toilet soap, whatever that is. Vicks Maple Rub. All the elixirs and potions. And this is where they would make them all up. Literally all sorts of elixirs and pills. What's one called over there? Wizard oil, liniment oil. It's like spices up there, but it's not. All the different types of drugs and stuff. And look, they've got an old scale from back in the day. 1941, that was downtown Bishop. And this is the way I remembered it as a kid. I think I've only been through here about 5 times. That was way before my time right there. This little house is the beauty parlor and Textiles. This is we're on the front porch here. We'll go on in. Textile building. Go ahead and check this out. With wall displays. Oh, look at this. Pretty pretty. Can't really see too much in here. World War I uniforms. Look at all the kids' clothes. And this is where girls get their hair permed. You can see over there. They had all these little things there to dry it or curl it or something. I don't know what the heck those are. You see that machine there? I don't know what that is. So we're just resting here on the front porch of the beauty shop. I'm waiting for my wife to get her hair done. And then we're gonna go take off in the train. And the train's not supposed to leave for probably another half hour, so hopefully she will be done with her hair by then. Right?
Yeah.
That's the way it used to be, I think. You know, they come into town by the little train here, or the buggy, and she spends her day up here getting her hair done. I doubt that happens really, unless you're rich. And then, yeah, well, I get the feed and all the stuff, and then we go together to the general store and get our groceries. Yeah, get our pickles on the counter, because I have pickles in the big jar. I always like those. Not really. But anyways, this is pretty here. Well worth coming to see, guys. It's called Laws Railroad Museum. I don't see a lot of train stuff here yet, but it's 11 acres, and hopefully we haven't seen it all yet. We're going to go on the other side and check it out now. Okay, come on with us. Pretty roses. Some pink ones. Just blooming. Look at that pretty red one. That's pretty. Yep, there's the old train. South Pacific, Southern Pacific. Here's the caboose. I don't know if it's really the caboose or not. Enter on other side. Yeah, we can get in all of them and go through the whole thing, I think.
Check out the agent's house.
So this is like a town back here, guys. There's all sorts of tractors and bulldozers and buckboards and whatever the heck that thing is over there. It looks like a big cross. It's got to be a crane of some sort. And they've got this pyramid looking tower thing over there. So cool. So this is getting on later in the years, and this is appliance repair. So this is probably 40s, 30s, 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe earlier. There's one of your roasters over there. Same concept as it is today. We had that Mixmaster over there as a kid. My grandmother did. Pretty cool. Look at all this old stuff. I think that was an old ice box. You put the ice in it. And then when it melted, you had your dog bowl. Ricer or a juicer. Cool. This is the train cars. We can look in here. So, Death Valley Railroad, check that out. That is awesome. They're restoring it. How cool. What do you think of that?
That's awesome.
I think that's a trolley kind of thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the passengers it fits, unless it has a couple cars behind it, but there's no train. I don't think. This is the train. This is the front. Wonder where the motor is. In the back? Pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's really pretty. Got it all painted up. Look at all the woodworking on it is running. I bet you it goes. It's on track. So if you want to pause and check this out, this is about the car itself. It was built in 1927, and there's, I guess, 5 of them or more. And well, there's number 55 too. But yeah, if you look down, they've shipped these all over Canada, Australia, Uruguay. Pretty cool. And it fits 40 people in it. So that is engine and everything. And there's not very many of them around. Obviously, oops. I guess they have 2 of them. Something else in there too, we just didn't get to see. But yeah, they can roll them out on these tracks, obviously. And they're probably all linked up. This is a lot of work. Whoever did all this, the laws, they're awesome people. Rebuilding what it looked like from previous years past. Yeah, I always thought they were red too. This one's painted yellow. This Boxcar Village, as they're calling it, when the cars were getting dilapidated or falling apart and they couldn't do anything with them, they would basically just leave them the way they are, take off the wheels, put them down on the ground or put them up on something. And they would leave them in places where the railroad workers and their families would be able to take them over. So you can't go in this one. You used to be able to probably. But imagine living in there. Just like a mobile home bigger. So yeah, I could see us doing that. I could see us taking one of these and living in it. Couldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, if we found an old one someplace and used it, that would be awesome. All this equipment. So they got to break down the rocks in different size pieces. And then they have a machine that crushes the rock to get the ore out, to get the signs here. Roller crusher. So that's the crusher. That's a big machine. Look at this. Belt driven. Silver ore. Copper ore, the green. We have a couple of those. Dione has them in her little jar of rocks. The green rocks that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Copper silver down here too. Soapstone. Looks like bone, but it's not. It's soapstone. It feels like soap. It's slippery.
Yeah, it's full of magnesium.
Right. So number 21 on the map is the miner's cabin. And this is what the miner's cabin would have. Nice stove in here. Place to chop up stuff, I guess, and eat off of. Pretty cool. Little dining room table with the leaves in it. You can see the cracks in the floor. Bed. Walls are falling apart almost. Not like they're going to. This is how people live, man. Talk about cockroaches. Whew. They don't have cockroaches out here. Hot baths, 10 cents. I need a hot bath, baby. Little game of poker. It's a little bar here. Hi everybody, we're having fun. Bishop, California. Spittoon down there. That's pretty cool. You got your horse tied up out here. I'm gonna take off the saddle. I got a saddle rack for you. What's back here?
Bath.
Oh yeah, this is the bath down back here. Look at that, suckers. That would be awesome. Get your bath once a week. I got a stove here that put the hot water in. So let's get in the car and we're gonna go for a ride. Oh, wait a minute, we can't. Somebody's still filling this up. You a little warm there, dear? It's a little hot today.
I know, I gotta get used to it though.
90 degrees. Good for us to sweat. We haven't sweated in, well, you did on that day, but woodworking. All the old hammers and stuff. Pullers, hammers, saws. All different types of axes and saws. More saws, tree cutting saws, bow saws, all sorts of, all these planes. That's pretty cool. So back in the 60s, there was a TV show called 20 Mule Teen Boride or something. And this was actually a Western TV show that out here, out in the desert, there was borax. And borax, I believe, was used for cleaning products. And they had these horse carts that would hold all the borax in it after it's been mined out. And they would come out of the mountainside on horse teams. And as you can see, there's some pictures of the 5 sets of these wagons were built in 1880s. But they restored these. These are all restored 100 years ago, guys. 100 years ago. How cool. Built to haul through hell. So they were mining out of Death Valley. And the TV show, I think, was Death Valley Days. So they would have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 mules. I don't know, these are just huge. And you can see how they connect together. So they have to have more than 2 horses pulling it, obviously. So these mules that were out here doing the work for man with gold and doing this, a lot of them got loose and a lot of them just got set out. And ends up they started mating with the wild horses, and then we have donkeys, burros. Snap. All right, let's go into the train. This is the engine. And you got a, for wood or whatever on this one. And then they've got one for livestock, for horses, cows, whatever. And then they got cargo, and then the caboose. Keep off of top of train. But they're not saying we can't go on the train. All right. This is the boiler. These are the pressure gauges up there. How cool is that? Tells you what each one of these does. Blowback. I can't see to read you all that. Hopefully your eyes are better than mine. Yeah, there's a guy sits out the window there. Another guy sits over here, looks for cows and stuff on the road. People gonna rob them. And then I don't know where the whistle is. Right here. You go womp 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 womp. Those are light switches for probably their lights. They got a door up here to let the exhaust out, to let the heat out. And this one is an oil burner. This is not coal. This is an oil tank. So it runs, the flame runs off of oil on this one. Cool. Make steam. Awesome sauce. You want to go in and see?
No.
So if you remember the movie Back to the Future,
Yes.
that was a coal burner. This is a gas burner. But instead of having this stairwell thing on here, it would have a platform to come out so you can get on the top to check the valves and to lube all that up there. And there's a bell up there that needs to be lubed, and the valves up there need to be lubed probably. So, but it would have a walkway like they had, Doc Brown had. This is the walkway here. Tanks for the brakes, I believe. What's it say? November 1909 this one was built.
Alton 460, engine number 9, narrow gauge cars.
Yep, that's what we're reading right now. And then this is the Laws, what do you call it? The train house, the station.
Train depot.
Train depot, that's it. So this is number 9.
Original 1983 depot and loading dock.
Cool. All right, guys, so we're in Bishop, California, and this was the Laws Railroad Train Museum. And it's really pretty fabulous here. You guys need to come and see all the history. There's a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do. We've been here for about 3 hours now. We hadn't really seen all of it, but you can sit here for probably a whole day and not see everything that's here. Donations are accepted, and that's all it is. They don't charge you an entrance fee, but please be generous. Give them a lot of money because they've got a lot of old stuff here that really all the kids need to see. See where we've come up from. Our generation after generation has thought up of and gotten to where we are now, right?
Right.
All right, guys, so we're going to go back to the camper and make sure Max is okay. We might get a bite to eat on the way back, but we'll see you over there. We're going to cook out tonight, maybe grill it. We got one steak. We might just eat one steak tonight. That's it. We'll see what happens. All right, guys.